Now, the National Buffer Stock Company has been fingered by a local rice producer for being behind the near collapse of his company. The chief executive officer of Tamana Rice Processing Company, producers of Nasia Star Rice in the Northeast region, Alhaji Brahima, is accusing the National Buffer Stock Company for its refusal to pay its indebtedness of 1 million Ghana cedis owed his company and threatened to take legal action against the CEO. Speaking to Joy News, Alhaji Brahima expressed worries about the state of his company, which he said was on the verge of collapse. Correspondent Elias Utanko has the details.
This is the main branch of the Tamana Rice Processing Company located at Logre near Wale Wale in the West Mamprese municipality of the Northeast region. Behind me is a machinery used in the production and packaging of the Nasia Star Rice. This machinery on a normal day produces 250 tons of rice. It was a working day when we visited, yet the company wasn't in operation. Workers reported to work, but there was no work to do. Whilst some of them had been laid off already, others chose to stay back home to exploit other means to feed their families. The company hasn't been in operation since May this year as a result of low market and high cost of production. The chief executive officer of the company, Alhaji Shaibu Ibrahim, explained the situation to Joy News.
We are virtually collapsing. The two factories put together, we are processing 290 tons per day. And with these 290 tons per day, cars were even packed from last year September up to December. But currently, when you process and when you process 250 tons a day, it can take several months. You cannot even get market to be able to sell all. Currently, we have 1,350 bags of rice that is packed at the factory. Since this year May up to date, we've never packed our machines because we process, we don't get market for it. We have seen in our Kumasi shop, thousands of rice is packed there, and our Tamale shop is also locked up because you don't have market for it.
The CEO also revealed the company had already laid off nearly half of its workforce.
We currently have our workforce has been reduced. Out of 250 workers, we have reduced it to 105 because we will not be able to get the money to pay their salary.
He added that his company was suffering from the impact of what he called bad government policies in the local rice farming and production sector. He specifically mentioned the government's failure to enforce its own ban on the importation of foreign rice and to remove subsidies on farm inputs.
When the imported rice came down to even be less than, it is even lesser than the prices of Ghana rice that we are selling. And it is due to the high cost of inputs in the market. Farmers also find it very difficult to be able to market with the foreign rice. So we go to buy from the farmers at a higher price, and we have no alternative to also price it high. And we now find it very difficult to compete with the foreign rice. And now nobody is buying from us for a whole year. They have not bought rice from us because they have gone back to the India rice, which is very cheap.
He also blamed the National Buffer Stock Company and its CEO for the current state of his company.
I can even say we have virtually collapsed because of the buffer stock, because kept our money for close to 2 years. As we speak, the buffer stock is showing us a lot of money and they are not paying. Currently, they owe us close to 1 million Ghana cedis and they are not paying us. We made our lawyer to write several letters to them. When the supplier were agitating, we also thought they were going to pay us, but the NRI giving us 53,000 Ghana cedis, and that ends the whole thing. So as part of market and buffer stock is part of the collapse of the company.
The chief executive officer advised the government to intensify measures to regulate rice importation and restore subsidies for agro input for farmers. Elias Sutanko reporting for Joy News.